We are back, and of course it's all about passing the baton. You know, even God is very generational. He's always looking to the future. Even as he calls us to be transformed, it's always to ensure that we can pass the baton to our children, to our children's children. He also says that a wise person leaves wealth not just for his children, but even for his children's children. So definitely generational a generational mindset is important, even when it comes to building of wealth and even of our businesses. And we had read a quote on Business Daily this morning that was saying, as a founder, a family constitution could be the most enduring part of your legacy, ensuring your business is preserved and grown. A quote from Carol Musioka. So that means that this just gives us the foundation that we need for today's conversation, even as we get down to talking about this topic of passing the baton, mastering the succession of business. We have Mr. Emmanuel, who has been with us before. He's not really a guest. We have had him. Amekuwa mwenyeji sasa, and he will be helping us to break this down. So thank you, Emmanuel, for coming again. Yes.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well, I thank God.
Yes.
And thank you for inviting me back. Yes.
Karibu sana. Today we are talking about a much needed topic and conversation about mastering that business succession. And maybe we can begin with the definition of that. But before that, maybe introduce yourself. Let the people know who Emmanuel is, even as we continue.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Emmanuel Mbogoli. And I'm a business coach, to summarize it.
Yes.
But I do work mostly with the SMEs, family businesses as such. So today, the topic today is right in my heart.
Yeah.
Because I do work with family businesses to help them put in the systems, the structures, and the processes for them to grow and also, of course, succeed. And today we'll also be talking about it sustainably grow. So one of the issues of sustainability is succession, being able to pass down the business from one generation to the next. Yes.
Oh, beautiful. And I think it's important for us to be having this conversation. And I think maybe we can get down to understanding why is it hard for business owners to even have that mindset of succession. What is usually running in their minds as they do business that, puts that wall that I cannot think of. A future.
Thank you. And allow me, even as we begin the conversation, just to set the tone and to give our viewers perspective, I'll share some statistics.
Yes.
Of course, family businesses, especially being the majority, if I was to speak in the context of Africa, has not been documented in terms of what we are saying, how many businesses have been passed on from one generation to the next. But there's an institute called the African Family Farms Association. It is based in South Africa. And they have attempted to do that research. Now, let me share the global statistics. Globally, 30% of family businesses are passed down to the second generation. Rather, I would call it now the first generation on passing it down. And only 12% make it to the third generation globally. Now, the African Family Farms Association attempted to do the same research in Africa. And can I shock you the statistics?
Yeah.
Well, at least in South Africa, where it is said that majority of family businesses that have managed to be present across generations. So in South Africa particularly, it's recorded at 25% to the second generation. But they attempted to do across Africa, and on average, the statistics were saying that only 2% of businesses make it to the third generation. 2%. And I love what you started by sharing. Proverbs 13:22. And the word of God says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. In other words, his grandchildren.
Yes.
Not even his own. So you asked a very important question. Why do many founders, why do they struggle even to put in place plans for succession?
Yeah.
I would say from what we have seen, especially as practitioners out here, there's something, a concept you call owners, or rather founders syndrome. And it is based on the dependency to the person who began the business. Most founders who begin businesses, whether they become successful or not, become such an integral part of that business that they never see themselves being out of the business.
Wow.
And so even this research, the statistics I've just shared,
Yeah.
statistically, one of the reasons why many businesses fail, 50% of businesses that fail, it's due to the founder's death. 50% purely from the founder's death. So it's because many founders make themselves an integral part of their business, which means that in their lack of being there, in the lack of their presence, that business will not succeed.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, the reason why most businesses do not even think of succession is because of what we've said is the founder syndrome.
Yes.
Most businesses are dependent on the owners. Yes.
Ooh, wow. And sometimes it's that feeling of I want to be in control forever. Could it be that's what King Herod was thinking when he decided to kill baby Jesus? Because ni mtoto amezaliwa, but you're like, I am king.
Yes.
I want to stay in this throne.
Yes, I would agree with you. The thought that you will one day be out of your business. But maybe for context purposes, if I was to talk about, because I have worked a lot with SME owners, and honestly I can see many business owners are emotionally attached to their businesses. As a matter of fact, what I've seen working with many of our clients is also most of them, their identity is somehow attached to their business. And so they lack the ability to be objective. They lack the ability to step out of their business and look at their business from afar and ask themselves, what is this business without me?
Yeah.
So that I can tell you is the biggest problem that we have around succession. That many founders, whether consciously or subconsciously, have not imagined a situation where their business will exist without them.
Yes. Oh, and that sometimes can be bad.
Yes, it is.
Because you're not there forever. So what happened?
Absolutely. And allow me just to share an example, if you will.
Yes.
During COVID, I was given a call, and somebody had referred me to a client. And so I was called to this business. It's a family business. It was very successful. It was a hardware business. And so the person who wanted to see me was the wife to the founder. And unfortunately, the founder had passed on during COVID. He had pre-existing conditions, and so when he was affected by COVID, and unfortunately he passed on. So this gentleman lives a very successful business, quote in quotes. And why I say it is successful is because this is the business that had literally fed this family all through the years. It had educated their children. But so Mzee now passes on, and the wife is left. And so she's here, and I remember just as you were having the initial conversation, she tells me the first day she went to the hardware shop. This is a business that was having over 15 employees.
Wow.
And so she gets there, and she looks around, and she's not seeing any evidence of some records. And so she asks the employees, because she checks the bank accounts, and she realizes there's not much money in the bank accounts. But in terms of stock, it looks like the stock has been moving. And so she asked the employees, it looks like the stock has been moving, but I'm not seeing money in the bank. And the employees say, Mzee used to give out a lot of stock on credit. He used to have very good customers. They would come, they would pick the stock on credit, and then they would pay later. And so she said, that's okay, but where is the record of these people who owe? And in fact, the comment she made was very interesting. She said the worker said, Mzee never used to write these things down. He used to have all of it at the back of his mind. And it's a sad situation, I tell you, that this man had never thought that one day would come where he would not exist in that business. So just to bring that story to a close, what happened now is during the burial
Yeah.
of the old man, they made a call because friends and family came, including clients. They came for the burial. And so the family made a call during the burial that, please, if you're one of the people who came and took items on credit, please, we are requesting if you can come and pay, because as a family,
Oh, my.
we need the money.
Kwa
And can I
burial.
shock you? No one came up
Oh.
to pay. And as a matter of fact, the employees who are also there doing the burial could pinpoint some of the clients who have been taking items on credit. And so as a consultant, one of the things I thought, of course, is that even the clients themselves, when they found out that there is no record that they owe this business, so therefore there was no obligation that stood. And so that is just an example of what the lack of putting in place plans on succession. And just from that example alone is pure record keeping.
Yeah.
Record keeping, just lack of keeping records, and nobody knows where to start from. You know, and so this lady, by the time she's calling me, she's asking me, how can you help me salvage this business? And then my first question is, where do we begin?
Yeah.
Because there are no records.
No records.
Absolutely. So that's just an example of one of the failures of founders, unfortunately. You know, to be able to ensure that there are plans in place for continuity. We call it business continuity. In the corporate world, we do it. We have business continuity plans. What happens if this person does not come in? Who else can perform this role? But in business, many people don't look at it like that. We somehow imagine, like you say, that we will be there forever. Yes.
Well, that's a very important story. And I think it's one of the things that will linger in the minds of people. And that brings me to the next question of then when do I need to start thinking of succession, and what plans do I put in place to ensure that I am ensuring that, after I'm gone, there is someone who steps in and does the work even better than I did.
Yes. Thank you for that question. What I would say as a consultant, as a business consultant, is the best practice is you actually think about this business beyond you from day one. So I tell founders, think of this business 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 50 years down the line. The moment you begin to think your business from that perspective, you quickly realize that you might not be there to see that business through to 50 years, to 60 years. And so I always say it's important to begin succession plans from the moment you begin your business. But you've asked a very important question. How do you do this? And I know now here is where many businesses and many families, this is where actually many of them start to fail. Because, first and foremost in Africa, we are a patriarchal society by nature. And so if I have a business and I'm thinking of that business, outliving me, most of the times I'll start with my own children.
True.
And even worse, I'll start thinking of my own children in order of birth.
Yeah. Firstborn.
Firstborn, secondborn. And it's the nature of our society.
Yes.
Okay? And so I'll start looking, who is it among my children that can take over my business?
Yeah.
And therein also comes in very many complexities.
That's true.
Because it's on record that, especially family farms, in terms of the heirs, most heirs are not willing to take over those businesses.
True.
Okay? So therein now comes the need to bring in external advisors. So let me just give a very simple step-by-step process.
Yes.
As a business owner, as a founder, the first thing you want to do as matters succession is first to put in place governance. So what is governance? Governance is putting in your business structures of accountability. We call them structures of accountability. So that might look like having a board, for example. Have a board of directors in place. Some people, because maybe they are unwilling to bring in other directors, I always tell them it's okay. Then at least, at minimum, have an advisory board. People who can come and give you the expertise and hold you accountable. So that is the first level. Put in place a governance structure. Once you have a governance structure in place, now you begin looking at what we call continuity planning. And so, yes, you can start with your own children. It's very normal and it is okay. You can start with your own children and look at who has the competence to be able to run this business. And I'll just give you an example. And I know if I was to say this, most of us will resonate. We have seen how most businesses, especially in the context of Africa, that are successfully transitioned from one generation to another are businesses that are owned by Asians. And so I had the privilege to school with some of them. And I used to remember when we were in school, those who we used to study with during the holidays, while the rest of us will be trying to catch up, to meet, basically to do fun activities. These children of the Asians were nowhere to be found. And so we used to wonder, where are they during the holidays?
Yeah.
And so when we come back to school, I used to ask them, we used to look for you, where were you? And they used to tell us for them, it was mandatory to go back and work in the family business. This is someone who is in high school.
Wow.
And during every holiday, he has to go back and work in the family business. And you would think that that person is working maybe in a management role. And we only got to find out from some of them that, as a matter of fact, they actually work in the low positions in their family businesses.
Wow.
So what I've come to learn that what that is in professional terms, it is rotation. What you need to do is you need to identify potential heirs to your business, and then you need to, as early as possible, begin rotating them in your business. Okay? So let me give the example of a logistics business. What you want to do is you want your heir, a potential heir, to come and understand how does this business run? Who are our clients? First of all, what do we offer? What are our products? What are our services? What is our value chain? In terms of where do we get the items that we sell? Are we manufacturing them? Are we importing them? Okay? Or are we sourcing them locally?
Yes.
So get this person to understand the value chain of the business. Okay? Once they have understood that, then let them understand how the business works. Operations is what we call it. So let them understand how the product or the service is brought right from initiation all the way to it being served to the customer. How does the customer end up paying? How do you retain those relationships? So what you want to do is you want to rotate this person around all the different departments of your business. Okay? Whether it is customer service, it is finance, operations, right down to the day-to-day running of the business, whether it is in the stores. In fact, I remember my friend used to work in his father's store for very many years before he even came and became a supervisor. And so that is what you want to do early on.
Yeah.
Once you have governance in place, you have identified who is a potential heir, begin as early as possible. Rotate them around the business. And then the third step you now want to do is bring in external advisors. So research has shown that family businesses that incorporate external advisors have a 20% higher chance of succeeding that businesses that against businesses that don't. Because remember, you're not saying that because you're the founder, you have the monopoly of knowledge.
Yes.
And remember, even you as a founder, it is very difficult. You can't pass this knowledge that you have of this business automatically down to your generations. So that is why it is needful to bring in external advisors, whether it is in the form of directors or managers. Bring in people from outside who have the professional ability to run this business.
Yeah.
And the moment you have governance in place, many founders also fear bringing in external advisors because many people imagine that they can lose their business to external advisors.
Yeah.
And as a practitioner, I tell them, as long as you've put in the systems in place, as long as you have governance structures in place, then you do not need to fear. Because everybody will know what is their role and what is the boundary of that role. And already, in terms of succession, you'll have already documented.
True.
Which is another thing that most of us fear. This thing we call wills.
I was just thinking of that, yeah.
We fear writing wills.
Yes.
We fear putting together trusts. And these are vehicles that the wealthy in society use to ensure that they're able to perpetuate their wealth down to multiple generations. So just in brief, those are the steps I can share for founders who are saying, how can I begin to prepare my business to transition from me? And sometimes it's not only for purposes of death. It is also for purposes of where you can reach a point and realize, I'm no longer the best person to run this business. Because of times. Look at how technology has changed the way we do things today. So you began a business 30 years ago. So many aspects of that business have changed. And so you realize, as the founder, you might not be the best person to continue driving this business.
Right.
So you simply go out, identify someone who is capable and competent, and you bring them on board. And as long as you have the governance in place, you don't need to fear. And so as the founder, you step back and you sit on the board of your own business and now watch it being run from a distance. Yes.
Wow, that's really powerful. There was I think it was an advert that just popped up, and it was actually saying that it's not about you being there physically and doing all the things, but how you're able to ensure that you are controlling but not firsthand. You being there, you're running it, but you're not there presently, and other people are actually taking it up.
We call it working in your business versus working on your business. So the goal is to work on,
not in your business. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yes.
And I'm also thinking of conflict, because with succession comes conflict, especially because even the lawyers, they will tell you the many cases they have to deal with, the mediators in particular. Before this show actually used to bring a lot of lawyers, and they really opened our eyes to see that one of the biggest conflicts that are there usually with the business successions or land successions. So even as I'm preparing to ensure that my business runs well, is there a way to also prepare for conflict and to be mindful of that if I have chosen maybe my firstborn or my secondborn because I feel they are more competent, what happens after I'm gone? What if there is conflict? How can I also prepare for succession conflicts?
Very true. As a matter of fact, it's just, I think I was in a session last year, and we were just being given the context of the battles that are in our courts here in our country, specifically Kenya, as we talk. And we were being given the monetary value of the cases that are in court around matter succession. And can I shock you, as at last year, 2024, they were trying to value, and they were saying we have 12 billion shillings that is locked in succession.
Oh, my.
12 billion shillings that cannot be used, to drive the economy. In a country where over 70% of businesses are SMEs, but we have 12 billion shillings locked in succession in the high courts, and nothing can be done about it. And so it's just interesting. You can see the value of just being able to put in place succession.
Yes.
But to your question around conflicts, which are very common, and that is the reason why people always run to court when there are conflicts. Which is why I said, when you begin a business, the first thing you need to do is to put in governance structures. One of the things governance structures does is actually to preempt conflicts. And I'll just talk about one tool which you also brought that is in the quote in today's business daily, a family constitution. So a family constitution has been there. In fact, it's interesting that many people do not know the existence of family constitutions. They have been there for very many years. And so what a family constitution does is that you're able to not only put in governance structures, but you are also able to outline roles. Okay? So you need to be able to document what are the roles of people in either your business or also in your family. Family constitutions also are able to cater not just for the business, but also for running of the family. And because in a family, there would be other conflicts that maybe might not include the business, but there are still conflicts. Like you say, because of the patriarchy in society, you have the firstborn assuming that they are the rightful owners of the estate, and then you have the last borns who are also saying, but I'm also here.
Yeah.
And so you also you put in place a family constitution.
Yeah.
And this one you definitely need a lawyer to be able to sit down with you and assist you to draft this family constitution.
Yeah.
And then one of the items now you put in the family constitution is conflict resolution. How do you as a family
Yeah.
resolve conflicts
Right.
among members? And you've just mentioned mediation. And so you'll be surprised that many families globally in Africa, you will never see them going to court. And many people wonder how these big families don't end up in court.
Yeah.
It is because of those family constitutions. You are bound as a family member to follow just like as a Kenyan, you and I are bound
Yes.
by our constitution. You cannot come and say, and if you want to challenge the constitution, you have to go to the court.
That's true.
So as a family constitution, it has already laid out the procedures for resolving conflict.
Yeah.
So many families will have a structure of when you have a conflict, how do you raise it? And then who gets to address it? And how is it addressed? And how is a solution arrived at? And so mediation would be one of the ways you can incorporate in your
Right.
family constitution to be able to resolve conflicts. Because, and I can think of many businesses that I would say have the potential.
Yeah.
And I'll just mention one which is in the public domain, and so everyone knows about it, and that is the famous Tuskys supermarket. As a business that was very successful.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like you also have mentioned, they also had family conflicts. Purely, around conflict of interest between family members and how do you run the business. So, you have an example of, a family member wanting to be the one to employ staff. You have a family member who wants to be the one to fire staff at will. Some of those are just very simple reasons around the conflicts that would arise. You have a family member who is a director in the business, but they are also a supplier. So conflict of interest can also be one of the reasons. And so Tuskys, of course, is on record as one of the businesses that had had very good potential of succeeding, but unfortunately because of those conflicts now, it was unable to, and as we know, it went down. But now let me give an example of a business that was able to manage these conflicts well, and that is what we know today as Naivas, which was begun in 1990 as Rongai self-service stores.
What?
Back in Nakuru.
Oh my!
By the late Mukuha.
Yeah.
And so this gentleman started this business with one store. And he did the same thing that most of us will do. He incorporated his sons into the business. But at some point, again, the good thing is that they identified who is competent, who is not. And there came in a conflict. It's in the public domain. They went to court. And the case dragged, and it was actually a case that almost brought down the business. But thank God they were able to, of course, through the courts, they were able to find a solution, an amicable solution. But you might want to avoid going the legal way.
Exactly.
Because it takes time, it is costly, and then as we all know, when you go the legal way, of course, there's also the risk of, those family relations sometimes can go bad. And so you put in place mediation, because mediation now, everybody is brought on the table.
Yes.
And I love mediation because the solution is meant to be the best solution, not for the individual, but in this case for the business. So we ask ourselves, what is the best outcome for this business?
Yeah.
Okay. And I love companies like Naivas, which have shown a very good example. And it's only recently that people have now seen that the CEO, David Kimani, has handed over the reins to an incoming CEO who is a foreigner and who has been acting as the chief of strategy for the last 8 years. And remember, that's why I said it is important to incorporate external advisors in your business. Because these are the people who will come and turn around your business. You don't have the monopoly of knowledge as a founder.
True.
So be willing to allow people from out come and help you grow this business. But family constitutions, mediation are one of the ways now you can lock in being able to resolve conflicts within the family, even before you go out and you go to the courts. But a lot of times where people end up going to court is because of the lack of those institutions within their family. You know, so if the founder had not, for example, documented his wishes, and God forbid they pass on, and you have 3-4 children, everybody wants to take over the business.
True.
And so if you had not even begun early on saying, who do you want to manage your business, then obviously you've opened up a leeway for them to be able to fight each other.
Yes.
But if you have a constitution that clearly lays out, and I've seen examples of businesses that have even identified potential heirs of the business before the founder exits. And so you already have a managing director who is being groomed. You already have a CEO who is being groomed. A local company called Senaka also, they have been documented as having a very successful transition from the founder to the children, and in this case the daughters. And so one of the daughters is the CEO and one of them is the managing director. And so you can see it is possible as long as you are able to put in these systems and structures in place before you exit.
Yes.
Many people don't take the time to do it before. And so you leave people to start wondering, who did you want to run this business when you are not there?
Yeah.
If you are married, sometimes, it's assumed that your wife or your spouse, your husband, is the one who will come and manage your estate.
Yeah.
They might not be the best persons to do it.
True.
And so you need to document and simply just say that a professional, someone professional will run the business and my beneficiaries will continue being taken care of by the business.
Makes a lot of sense that way. And I think it's powerful to even seek wisdom from God with these things.
Yes.
Because it comes with a lot of discernment to know who indeed is going to take over the business and run with it, in line with the vision that was there from the very beginning.
Very true.
And I think at this juncture, we can take a short break so that we sip some water. When we come back, we still have more. Should you have any questions with regards to this conversation that we are having today, please let us know. 0708 222 323 is the WhatsApp number. See you in a short while.
There's a world out there searching for hope, and you can help bring it home. By becoming a friend of Hope, you're helping us share the love of Jesus through Hope FM and Hope TV. With a donation of any amount, join hands with us to bring hope and point souls to the transforming power of Jesus Christ. Become a friend of Hope today by making your donation through the M-Pesa paybill number 933933, account FOH. For more information on how to become a friend of Hope, call 0116-212-723 or email customerexperience@hopefm.org or visit www.hopemediakenya.org. Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive. These days, the tide pools harder. We rise early, hustle harder, and keep moving. But even strong men drift when there's nothing holding them. It's time to be anchored. This November, the Sitam Men Joint Leadership invite you to a defining moment. The Anchored Man Men's Conference 2025. Mark your calendar for the 14th and the 15th of November from 8 a.m. at Sitam Karen. 2 powerful days complete with plenary sessions that challenge, worship that renews, and expert-led workshops that tackle sensitive issues and anchor real men in real truth. Featuring the presiding bishop of Sitam, Bishop Callisto Odede, the Deputy Bishop, Reverend Justus Mugambi, Regional Overseer, Reverend Jotham Munene, the Sitam Men's Patron, Reverend Jesse Mwai, and workshop panelists Dr. Wahomengare, Elder Simon Wafubwa, and Mr. Kingston Ogango. Entry is absolutely free. Register online or at any Sitam assembly near you. See you there.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come.
Let's go! Ooh, what's it? Eco on! Killer game in a matter. Reconnect now. Dial star 423 hash.
Beautiful. We are back, and I hope you've also been able to sip a glass of water or maybe tea, so that now we can continue with this very deep and much needed conversation about mastering business succession. And of course, Emmanuel is really breaking it down for us very well. The first part of what we did was quite informative. I mean, we laid the groundwork for that. And I think even, and I know this may bring us to that point of just refreshing our memory, but maybe talk about those stages so that someone can gauge where they are at and what needs to follow, maybe what they have not put in place. And even for the one who is beginning, you can let them know of those stages towards business succession.
Thank you. So we said the first stage to be able to put in place plans for succession is governance. And we've said under governance is where you're able to put in systems of leadership and accountability that are not necessarily dependent on you as the founder of the business. Another thing in governance that you can also do is to have shareholder agreements, because one of the things people don't know is that you need a when you're starting a business with other people, you need to have shareholder agreements. And a shareholder agreement would say something as simple as, what happens if me as a director wants to pull out of the business? Unfortunately, and allow me to mention this also, there have been situations where successful businesses have been begun by families, and in the very unfortunate case that a couple separates or divorces, what happens to this business? And so you need shareholder agreements that would even cover such eventualities. Unfortunately, all these it's not. We're just saying that you need to to have them in place to be able to help the business. Should you not be there, and then once you have been able to put in the governance in place, you now secure it with the legal structures. So that's why we said you draft a family constitution. You ensure that you have the wills, you have a will, you have a trust. Okay, especially for business owners. And I say wills and trusts are not for families that have a lot of wealth, because it's just simply to say, how would you want this business, how would you want your property to be managed in your absence? That is what a will does. Okay, so it's important to secure it legally. Have a lawyer document the will, the trust, register it according to our laws in the land, and that is able to secure succession, matter succession. The third thing now you want to be able to do is to plan for contingencies. Remember, succession, like I've said, is not only important for cases where the founder has died. But what about when a founder falls ill? What about incapacitation? What about disability? These are all incidents that we don't pray upon ourselves, but they are the realities of life. So you need to also put in place plans for contingencies. In the corporate world, many would relate to business continuity plans. I remember back when I used to work in corporate, we used to be told, and it was not a way of threatening us, but it was reality. I remember our manager telling us that if anything happens to you, don't imagine that tomorrow will delay to open.
Weird.
You know, the first time hearing that, you can take it. But now in hindsight, I can say he was correct.
He was very right.
What he was telling us is that the company has, very deliberate business continuity plans. So, and it's very key not to allow the absence of one person,
Yeah.
affect or disrupt how your business operates.
Yes.
And so I remember one of the things that we used to be told in corporate is, for example, you must take leave. You cannot claim that you are the only one who can do your job. So, identify somebody who is capable, train them, develop them. And that is what leadership is about.
Yeah.
So develop leadership, identify somebody, and then now bring them in while you are still there. And that's why I talked about rotating potential heirs in a business. Rotate them. So those are some of the contingency plans that you can have in place, so that you can say then, you've been able to rotate these potential heirs. Or a contingency plan could also include an external advisor, or it could include giving your family the instruction to be able to employ a professional from out there and let them run the business. And of course, there'll be checks and balances that are in place to ensure that they're not overstepping the boundary.
Oh, wow. And I think that now is making me think of some of the mistakes that people make in business succession. Talk about that as well.
So, like I said, the first and foremost mistake I can think about is, because of the society we are in, patriarchy. So you want to hand over your business purely to your firstborn. Or even some founders, you want to hand over your business to your sons. But God has blessed you with very competent daughters.
I mean, say it out loud.
And so that's one of the very key mistakes many founders make. Just wanting, the issue of the firstborn and whatnot. But what I say, how you overcome that challenge is identify competency. Develop competency in children. Don't develop entitlement.
That's good.
That I'm the firstborn, and so automatically I'll have to take over. No. Develop competence. Be able to identify at a very early stage. And the good thing is you have given, if you have 2-3 children, you have given each of them an equal opportunity.
Yeah.
God willing, you have given them the best education. And so by the time they're coming to take over the business, they had the same platform. But you will find that one is more competent than the other. And also, very close to that is also forcing an heir to take over your business when they are not interested.
You see movies with such issues.
Yes. You are a doctor, you started a hospital, and you assume that all your children want to be doctors. And so you force them. In fact, I know as parents, we tell children, yes, we even sometimes fill those forms for causes. So it's good to direct children. It's good to guide children. But at the end of the day, be open to the fact that maybe your children do not want to be involved in your business. Maybe they want a different path. That is the modern world that we are living in. So then what you need to do in that case is put in place contingencies.
Right.
And then be able to say that, fine, you might not run the business, but you need to be in the governance board. You need to be directors of this business. Because this business, I started it to benefit you. So once you have those governance structures in place, have, your spouse, have your children, if they are of age, join the board. Let them get to know how this business functions. Because like the example I gave you of the gentleman who passed away during COVID, you can imagine, such a sad situation. Because that business, it had to be closed. Because now, and again, this one I also say to the gentleman, involve your loved ones
Yeah.
in getting to know what you do, especially if you are a business owner. I see a lot of gentlemen running very successful businesses, but their spouses don't know
They don't know.
how these businesses operate.
Yeah.
And then they have also not put in contingency plans. And so what you're saying there is, if should you fall ill and be unable to go there,
What
it
happens?
means you have even put the risk of your employees taking advantage.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so involve people. Let people get to know how does this business operate. What is our value chain, like I said before? Who are our customers?
Yes.
Where are they documented? Have a system that someone can be able to go and see these are our customers.
Yeah.
Do your books, have your records, so that someone can be able to tell, how much money did we make last year? Where are we going this year?
Right.
So purely, if you're able to follow those steps, then and you're able to avoid some of those mistakes. So avoid just choosing people based on the order of their birth. Identify. The other mistake I would also mention very quickly,
Yes.
is many founders do not now intentionally develop potential heirs. Like I've said, the mere fact that I have been a good consultant does not mean that if I have children that they'll also be interested, or even if they're interested, does not mean that they'll be good consultants.
Right.
I have to intentionally develop them. So how do you develop potential heirs? Purely take them for training. Allow them to go and be exposed. If it is, for example, an industry, let me say the manufacturing industry, ensure that a potential heir has been taken through, some sort of a capacity building program that has exposed them
Yes.
to the manufacturing industry. And so now they understand, how does the manufacturing industry operate? Because if you don't do that, it will be the same as bringing, a lawyer, someone who has educated, has been educated as a lawyer, and now they are coming to take over a hospital. They might not be able to understand.
Yeah.
Maybe from a governance perspective they can offer, but the day-to-day running of the business, they need to be slowly inculcated into how does this business run. So capacity building of potential heirs is also very important.
Yes.
At an early stage. Just to go back to my example of, I told you I had the privilege to school with the students from Asian families. And I'll just say this on a light note, if you remember 844, I can't remember, but we start so many subjects by the time we were doing our exam. And one of the things I noticed is that, my peers from the Asian families, especially those who used to come from families that have businesses, do you know they never used to concentrate on all the subjects?
What?
So I noticed they were very particular with the subjects that they were picking. And I used to wonder why. Me and you used to have to balance biology, chemistry, whether or not you wanted to...
Geography. Jameni.
Whether or not you wanted to be in that line.
Yeah.
But here is a family that knows we have a business. And so we already are telling you, this is what you need to focus on as you are in school.
So uchapwe kama umefail a certain
No,
subject.
actually, we used to see it. They used to focus on mathematics, English, accounting, of course. They were the majority. They would pick accounting. And so even when you look at the results, they'd score very well in those subjects. And then the rest, biology and chemistry, to them.
Wow.
So you might not, but what I'm saying there, I'm trying to place the value of being able to capacity build intentionally. So if, for example, you want your daughter or your son to come and become the director of operations, you need to take them and do a program.
Yes.
So a management, a leadership program. How will they know how to come and manage staff? So capacity building is also very important.
Yes. Oh, that's really good. And I see a time is far much spent. Oh my goodness. Time goes very fast when you're talking about interesting things. But I think to conclude, maybe talk about the importance of maybe people seeking help and where they should go. Because maybe someone is watching and all this is Greek to them. They're like, wow, I had never thought about it.
Yes.
So where do they begin? Where do they seek the help that they need?
Thank you. So, just like the steps we have outlined, when you want to start, for example, with governance, what you need to do is involve a professional, a governance professional. What a governance professional will do is they will come and first do an audit of your business. Okay, which stage is your business in? Some businesses might not be at the stage. For example, when you are just starting, it might not be very critical to have those governance, because there needs to be a level of growth in that business. Otherwise, there'll be nothing to hold accountable. So get someone to come and do an audit on your business. So you need a professional governance advisor, in that case, a consultant, to come in, do an audit and be able now to advise you. This is what you need to put in place. Maybe for you, you might not need a board of directors. Maybe what you need is an advisory board. Just purely experts who can be able to come in and give you professional advice. Then they'll help you be able to structure some of those engagements, because I know one of the challenges is that founders maybe don't know how to approach. And even when you're thinking of this advisory board that you're talking about, it is not friends, it is not family. I've said it is experts. So that's why the professional, when you ask for help from professionals, they're able to tell you who do you need in this business, and then how do we approach them. So nowadays, I'm glad I'm seeing businesses that are advertising for governance roles. Businesses are advertising for non-executive directors, because what we're saying is we want external professionals. We need their help, but we need to engage them professionally. So we engage them professionally. We give them a contract. You know, you give them durations on the board. That's why you see businesses rotating directors. You are given 1 year on the board, and after the 1 year expiry, it is up to the business to decide whether to keep you or to bring in somebody. So only a professional can be able to help you now structure that engagement. The second thing now you need is legal help. You need a legal practitioner to come in and help you set up the legal structures. Okay? And so you need someone who will come and help you set up the family constitution. You need someone who will now be able to come and help you draft that will that you have been avoiding draft. And last but not least, maybe a trust. How do you structure a trust, register a trust, and put it in place? How do you bring all your assets and register them under one holding company? There are various structures of legal structures that you can be able to put in place to be able to help you secure your legacy in terms of wealth. So, and I would also put it out there, I'm not shy to say that this is what I do on a day-to-day. We help businesses be able to put in these governance systems and structures in place. We advise businesses, and where need now we bring in external experts, like I've said, lawyers. We do work with lawyers who can be able to come in and address some of the legal aspects of succession planning.
Wow. And, you know, having mentioned that, of course, it goes without saying that people need to know how they can connect with you, how they can reach out to you as well for any more advice that they may require.
Thank you. I would say the fastest way is through a phone contact. And so if you allow me, I'll share my numbers. It is 0755 826 974. I know how to give numbers in three. So 0755 826 974. So just a quick phone call. Tell me you are interested in even just doing an audit. You know, or a discovery call. By the many people fear approaching consultants. Personally, in our firm, we give complimentary discovery calls. It is free. We'll just give you 15 to 20 minutes to tell us about your business. And once you've understood where you are at, then now we'll be able to tell you this is what you just like the same way you go to a doctor
Yeah.
and you consult before they
Yes.
write the prescription.
Yeah.
They'll have to listen to you. So
That's
just give
true.
us a call. We'll sit down and have a talk with you. Our offices are in Westlands. I'll be able to direct you and be able to visit our offices. Let's have a discussion and see how the best way on how to support you. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. May God bless you for just sharpening our skills and also reminding us that, by the way, there's a generation ahead of us which is depending on our diligence in that succession process and transition. And to our viewers, asanteni sana. God bless you for tuning in and being part of this wonderful show. So we have to call it a day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on One Day at a Time. So do have yourselves a lovely day.